Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. I give double honors to my apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. And a sincere shalom to the elect out there. Teach this truth in all honesty and sincerity in these last days. Alright, and the brother Yasharon, and this is a little walk and talk. I was perusing around on X.com the other day, and this came up on my feed. Okay, it says this is by Spencer Pratt. I can't remember who this guy is. I think he's a senator. He might be a senator or a businessman or something, but I know he's a somebody, right? It's not just some random person, right? Average Joe Blow. And Elon Musk commented on it. And Spencer Pratt wrote, "It's okay to love America." Okay? And then Elon Musk wrote, "Not merely okay. Anyone who doesn't love America is a traitor and beneath contempt." See? Esau Edom is starting to bring out his thought police. Okay? He's starting to bring out his so-called thought police. And this is what empires do when they're failing. Okay? They get rid of all the dissenters. Or they work on singling out the dissenters. Okay? It's happened to numerous empires throughout history. And if anything, this shows that this place is circling the drain. Okay, it's circling the drain. Because this place is just, man, it's really divided, right? It's really divided. So for a man who's supposedly worth $1 trillion, all right, which he's not worth $1 trillion. Okay, all that shit is just equity with stock prices. Okay, he doesn't actually have $1 trillion. All right, he doesn't actually have it. He wrote, "Not merely okay." It says, "Anyone who doesn't love America is a traitor and beneath contempt. Those who don't love America, those who are disloyal, should be exiled immediately." Are you hearing this guy? Are you hearing this guy? First off, majority of the people who don't love this place, all right, are the everyday peons who keep it going. Okay, because they're just sick of it because they're not getting a fair shake. Okay, they're sick of the injustices. They're sick of, the culture that's being put on their children against their will, right? They're just tired of this shit, man. They're just sick and tired, man. There's no future in this place, but yet you still gotta go to work every day. The cost of living is crazy. You can barely afford to live. But this is supposed to be this super great nation that everybody envies. But anyways, Spencer Pratt replies by paraphrasing at scripture, Matthew 12. I believe it's 12 and 25. "Every kingdom divided against itself is laid waste." See, this is what I hate about these devils, man. They think that they're the authority on everything. Okay? They think they're the authority on everything, man. Alright? He's got to try and control the fucking narrative on every fucking thing. All right. I gotta try and so I had to wait for that person to go by. It says every kingdom divided against itself is laid waste, and no city or house divided against itself will stand. Okay. Now let's actually get that. Let's get that. Again, you gotta bear with me because this is a walk and talk. It's pretty dark over here. It's pretty poorly lit. This is Matthew 12 and 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Okay? And, any nation in history, okay, because this is a deep parable, man. This has happened numerous times throughout history, man. Where a nation divided against itself can't agree on the direction, can't agree on the culture, right? Which America is just a cesspool of different wicked cultures. Okay, and what's the one heritage or so-called culture that you're not allowed to be? An Israelite, right? That's the one thing that everybody gets up in arms when you claim that you're an Israelite. Okay, even Jake, right? It says every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Okay, and this place is not going to stand, man, much longer. Okay, but he took that scripture entirely out of context. Okay, it just goes to show you Esau Edom has no understanding of the scriptures, man. Okay, Esau Edom has no understanding of the scriptures. He doesn't even know that he's living in Babylon the Great. Okay, he doesn't even know that. He's one of them Christians that'll say, "Where's you say America in the Bible?" Okay? Now, put in the chat, again, it's just a screen cap. What does it mean to be beneath contempt? Because that's what Elon said. They always got, it's funny because this guy Elon, he used to get on the so-called left, right? The Democrats, for labeling people, right? He used to get on these people for virtue signaling. Yeah, he's virtue signaling right here. And this reminds me of the time when after 9/11, when everybody was like, if you don't like America, you could get out. Right? When everybody was in that fucking mindset, man. They're trying to bring that shit back. If you don't love it, you can leave it. Well, we are going to leave it. But we're going to leave it in with the best exit that there is, man. Alright, we're going to leave this place, Lord willing, in the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, well, this place burns. How much are you going to love this place when it burns? Right? Is Elon going to love this place when it burns? No, he's not. Alright, he's going to be in them bunkers when it burns. It says, continuing on, it says, beneath contempt means someone or something is considered so low, worthless, shameful, or disgraceful. So if you don't love this place, then you're this, right? You're worthless, according to fucking Elon Musk. Okay? According to that guy, you're fucking worthless, or you're disgraceful because you don't love a wicked kingdom. Get the fuck out of here, man. The scriptures say that their posterity approveth their sayings. Okay? Shall take their pomp to the grave. Ridiculous. It's outrageous. Okay, shameful or disgraceful that is not even worth insulting, arguing with, or paying attention to. See? If somebody doesn't agree with you, you put the blinders on. There's the thought police, right? That's what they do before they start to lock society down because it's failing. They go crazy and they get rid of all the dissenters, or they persecute them, right? It's stronger than I disagree or I dislike them, right? Which didn't Elon buy Twitter because he wanted to make it more free speech? Isn't he one of them guys who claims to be against internet censorship? Okay. See, by saying that, you're basically saying that that they're not, their points aren't even worth listening to. Right? It means this is so beneath respect that it doesn't even deserve a response. Okay? Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Alright? Well, hey, this place is going down, man. This is Psalm 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, right? And that's their mindset. They think that this place is going to continue forever. Okay? They think that this place is going to continue forever, man. Because the Lord didn't open them up to the wisdom of the scriptures. You know, I mean, just look at what's going on around the world. It's chaos. You think this shit's going to hold up much longer? Okay? They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, men being in honor abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. This their way is their folly. You know, that whole MAGA movement, man. You know? The whole MAGA movement. And I've talked to people about this this shit, man. You know? They try and tell them things that are wrong with the place, and they get all up in arms over it, man. Okay? They get all up in arms. Whenever you admit this nation's flaws, everybody gets all upset. You know, you bring up a simple fact that over 95% of the wealth in this shithole is held by the top 1%, right? But they don't want to hear that. They don't, you know. You try and tell them to come out of this matrix right here, right? And realize that when you get your paycheck, when you look at what's on a dollar bill, you're basically getting paid with a debt note, a treasury note. You know, you're not even paid with real money. Your Social Security number is traded on a private stock exchange, right? When you're born, your birth certificate has a UPC or a serial number is written on banknote paper. Okay? So you tell me if it's okay to love America. And you tell me why it's... see, these people are saying that if you don't love it, then you're beneath whatever the fuck. Beneath contempt. Whatever Elon said. Alright? Verse 13, this their way is their folly, yet their posterity approve their sayings. Okay? Right, they're posterior. They're posterior. Yeah, they are a bunch of posteriors, man. Their posterity approveth their sayings, man. Okay? But you know, us brothers, man, we gotta keep our antennas up, man, because when they make these statements, we need to pay attention. Okay? Because the people in the crosshairs that they're mainly targeting with that is us. Okay? We're the main ones that they're talking about when they make these statements, man. Alright? This is Psalm 70 and 2. Let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. Right, because just like it says in Micah 2 and 10, you know, this place will destroy you. It's polluted. Okay? This place will take your soul, man. Alright? Because if your heart is in this place, then your heart is not with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because, hey, the scriptures say that what? The prophets are going to rejoice when this place gets destroyed. It's in Revelation 18. Okay? And when the Lord destroys this place, he's going to avenge his elect. Okay? Who don't love this place. Okay? Yeah, I mean this is Esau Edom's kingdom, man. You know? How can you love Esau Edom's kingdom? Okay, let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. Let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my hurt. Let them be turned back for reward of their shame that say, aha, aha. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. And let such as love thy salvation say continually, let Yahweh be magnified. Okay? Because we're going to need protection from the Lord. Alright, the scriptures say that he shall be like a madman, sparing none. And that's what they're basically putting out there, right? Anybody who doesn't love this place is beneath contempt. And they should just be getting rid of. Well, eventually Esau Edom is going to try and get rid of us, man. Alright? That's why, you know, I read that psalm. Let them be ashamed that desire our hurt, you know? This devil, he's going to come with great wrath during these last days. Okay? Hey, I mean, that's... Right? The scriptures say that, what? The wicked boasteth of his heart's desire. You know, that was Mr. Pratt and Mr. Elon, you know, slipping with their tongues, really. This is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And it's going to be them, man, when they're trying to be like madmen, sparing none, man. You know, the scriptures talk about the enemy shall come in like a flood. All right, this is the main land where that's talking about. Let me get that. Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, which is where we are. Okay? You know, it makes sense why the Lord tells us to stand and face the east. And his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Okay? So when these devils stop talking and they start actually doing what they want to do, okay, that's when the Lord is going to show everyone who he's truly dealing with. And it takes faith to believe that. You know, if some of us get nabbed up, it's going to take faith to believe that we're going to get delivered out of that situation. Okay? Whatever situation it may be. And it says, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob. In whom? In Jacob. Not everybody, right? So, Mr. Spencer Pratt, are you a son of Jacob? Okay, because the Lord ain't coming for you if you don't turn from your, even if you do turn from your transgressions. Okay, which he's probably a fucking idiot Christian anyway. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression, and Jacob saith the Lord. That's who the Lord is coming for, man. And when these devils start moving on us, and it becomes more than just words and actions, and and it becomes an action, all right, the Lord is going to deliver his elect, man. He's going to protect his elect. The elect is not going to be getting no missiles. Some of them may be martyrs. Honestly, I think that would be the best way to go, to be a martyr. That'd be the best way to go. But, there would be no, there couldn't be a more honorable death than to go on that guillotine during that time. It's just me speaking. I'm sure a lot of other brothers would agree with me. Okay? But with that, till next time, shalom.